Does it, does it? Going where? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Kiang mà đã? Một phát tu sao ya? Cảm ơn. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we'll be on a boat. We'll be on a boat. It's a little different. Well, they didn't cancel it, so. Okay. Okay, bow in. Salute. Okay. Back there today. Okay, ready? First exercise. Feet parallel, feet shoulder width. 1, 2, 3. You can step up a little if you leave some room in the back, just in case. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Again, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Cross. Knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, hands on your waist, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Okay, hands up, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands in your waist, shoulder roll. Reverse. and Sana. Okay. Press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, Sana. Palms down. Bigger circle. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Shake it out, side to sides. Okay, Sana. And okay, insert the needle. Switch. Okay, just trying to shake it out. Okay, leg swing. Switch. Okay, side to side. Okay, switch. Okay, Sana, shake it out. Hands up. Pull in, inhale. Okay, silk grilling. Switch. Okay, open and close. Switch. Okay, Sana. Preparation. Okay, lower hook. shoulder height. Elbows down. Palms down, expand, straighten up. Extend. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Okay, switch. Okay, cloud hands. Okay, palms down, carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. Okay, form the fist. Okay, palms together, strum the loop. Turn, draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. Palms now. Deep breathing. Inhale. Okay, go to the form. Okay, we can leave enough room, or you can close up a little if you want. Yeah. Ready? Okay, ready? Begin. Step up, press forward. Step up to raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Turn, brush knee 4 times. Strum the loop. Close the door. Form the fists. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Neutral position, fist under elbow. Repulse the monkey. Neutral right, vertical elbow to horizontal, hold the ball. Step up to diagonal flying. Sit back to insert the needle. Step forward through fan through the back. Fan through the back, shift your weight, fix the feet before you move the arms. Turn. Parry and punch. Step up, punch. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Hands down, carry tiger to the mountain. Raise the left hand. Then from the waist, stork flaps wings. Turn, toe heel pivot. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists. Single whip. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Stroke down, part the horse's mane. Step up. Stroke down, part the horse's mane. Cross over. Jade Lady work shuttle. Cross over. Jade Lady work shuttle. Hook your wrists. Back to single whip. Cloud hands. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Close the form. And relax. Okay, deep breathing. So the Tai Chi Paradigm is actually a training method. So the first series of exercises that we do actually teach your body the patterns and actually get your body familiar with spatial motions, turning the torso, creating different shapes, the geometry of position. Then you memorize the sequence, which is a mapping of the form, and it links these different postures together. But most people, when they first learn Tai Chi, they're more focused on sequence than on refinement. Right? So once you've learned the form of your body, especially the short form, then you have to go back and sort of revisit each posture, because each posture is a final position. There's a beginning point and an end point, and that's usually from Strum the Loop position, and then there's minute transitions that happen in the body, but that's harder to detect. So you have to be able to at least understand which, identify the postures. So posture training is something that either you do it before you learn the form or after you learn the form to sort of get familiar with it. So this is a way of practicing these. We have right and left sides. So we face this way and go into the neutral empty stance. There's your horizontal. So we're going to do grasp the sparrow's tail left side. So you go forward, you roll back, and you push forward. And then we sit back and turn. Okay. Now we do a right side grasp the sparrow's tail, roll back, and push. So the accuracy of your movement really comes from the vertical elbow to the horizontal position. You slant back to the rear corner, and that's really the back leg, and then push forward. Okay, then we turn. Now we do the right side grasp the sparrow's tail again, forward, backward, and forward. Okay. Now, if you haven't recognized it by now, we have a triangle, we have a circle, we have a square, we have a slanted movement that comes down to the waist, a thrusting to your center, there's your triangle, and those are essentially the hand movements in the grasshopper spiral tail. A series is on one or right or left side. So when we're here, and we go to this position and press, that's the horizontal position. When we drop the elbows, that's the neutral position on that side. When we bring our hands together like this and going, because this is your right side, it crosses to the opposite side. This hand turns up and then it pushes out. Okay, so that's a grasshopper sparrow's tail. That's the hand movement. So you're vertical on this side, you're horizontal on this side, then you go to this corner to slant back to here, turn the hand across, and you push. So that's what you have to format in your movements, so that eventually when you're here and it goes forward, you go to this side, it goes down here, you turn the inside hand up first, and then you push forward. Okay, so refining that and getting that to happen, with the drill like this will help you, memorize it better. Okay, then the next thing we can do after brush knee, we turn. Well, we go to brush knee. Now this is your left side brush knee and push. And then you go back to neutral, you turn, and you switch to the opposite side. Okay, then you turn to the right, you brush down, and you push. And you turn again, go back to neutral, and we exchange the two hands from left to right. And then you continue to the left, and you brush down and push. And we do that again, we turn. We turn to the right, brush down and push. We sit back and we switch. We turn to the left and you push. And don't forget, it's the left side push, right? So if you get confused doing this, it's because you're learning it, but you have to do this enough so the body starts to recognize immediately. So if you go from here to here, you're going to go to your right, right? So that's your right side, brush knee and push. When we turn this way, this is Strum the Loop. When we're here, because we're tying it together with a transition going 180 degrees, ties your hand movements with the leg movements. So when you're going from one movement to the other side, then you have to recognize, once you're in this neutral position, that you go to the left and you push with the left. Okay, so that's brush knee and push, and that's something that you can do to build that. Now, let's say we finish this brush knee and we switch to the other side. Now we're going to do Strum the Loop. So you turn to the corner, you come back to center, you lean forward, and you sit back. Turn. Change the hands, turn to your left, move to your center right, and you go forward and back. Now this, on the left side, isn't in the form, but you have to learn to maneuver your body so that both sides become balanced, right? So here's Strum the Loop. So if you've been doing Tai Chi for a while, these movements won't be difficult to do because you've already sort of programmed it into your system. So this is Strum the Loop movement. Now we're going to turn again, and we form the right fist and punch. Go back, sit back, divert, block, and punch. Now we turn again, form the left fist, punch, sit back, divert, block, and punch. Turn again, form the fist, punch, divert, block, and punch. Turn, form the left fist, punch. Go to your right, move to your left, and you punch. Turn again. Form the fist and punch. Divert, block, and punch. Bring your left hand to the outside. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. So you know this from the form. But when we get to the other side and we form the fist, the left punch is not so familiar. The divert, block, we know it from the exercise where we're doing two hands. But now we're going to cross and do the leopard and tiger on this side. Okay, now we turn again. Form the fist and punch. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Turn again. Form the fist and punch. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. We're going to turn one more time. Go to neutral position, turn to the right corner, drop down, fist on the elbow. Going to turn again. Turn to the left, stroke down, fist on the elbow, right side. And it's your right side because, it's not on the left, so you have to kind of build that coordination. So we have this left one, that's in the form. This is the mirror image to that, and we stroke out, and we're back. Okay, so to balance your movement, both sides have to learn, the transition. One of the things that happens if you're always turning this way, which is really counterclockwise, when you go on the opposite side, the body isn't familiar with that. So the waist doesn't want to turn, or you're so programmed on one side that even if you're in the wrong stance, that same hand wants to do that. But that's just natural for someone that's only doing the one-sided movement. So these drills, it's a training where you work with the single posture. And the only way to refine the posture, or at least discover anything different that you weren't doing, is to do it over and over again. So it's a supplement to your form training. The form training is an active meditation type of routine that doesn't necessarily allow you to refine it because you're just going through the motions per se. But to refine movement, you actually have to get into it to find out, what you're doing with the motion. And the timing, the transition starts to become more important because from one side to the other, when you move one leg, you move one hand, when you move one hand, you move one leg. It's usually this cross-lateral relationship in the body to avoid double-weightedness, which is usually movements happening simultaneously that shouldn't be. It should be one passive, one active, one active, one passive. So that's built into the learning curve. Once you start to understand that in these postures, then you move on to the next postures and you build that same understanding. So you do it through drills. Drills are something that we use as, like repetition. It is repetition. Sort of like the route system. You do it over and over again till you memorize it. And, when you do these exercises, that's what happens. It gets into your body and then it will show up in your form. Now, doing what we just did, you say, well, how do I remember all that? It's easy because just go into the form. Grasp the sparrow's tail. You have brush knee as the next sequence, and then you have strum the loop, and you have form the fist and so forth. So it's just using them in the order that it happened in the form allows you to recall what's going to happen next. But if you don't know the form, that's not going to happen because you won't be able to know what's coming next. Now there's movements in between there, but these are the ones that happen in that empty stance. So there's a consistency, so you can practice that, a lot easier. If you go to fan through the back and that's two different movements, and although you can do those the same way, but that's the next section of the form. So it's just, a way to practice. So then if you're on the Tai Chi Paradigm form and you're working on the sequence, then you can probably go to the other room and minor, or someone will work over there. So then for the people that know the long form, there's other drills that are sort of something that you work on that comes in pairs. Now, corner movements like Jade Lady Work, Shuttle, Part the Horse's Mane. If you notice, if you learn any of the forms, Part the Horse's Mane and Jade Lady Work, Shuttle sort of go hand in hand. Whenever a Part the Horse's Mane is there, you're probably going to see a Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. And they kind of go back and forth. If you notice in the four corners, there's a Part the Horse's Mane that leads into the Jade Lady Work, Shuttle, right? So what we sometimes have a problem with just doing the sequence is the accuracy of our stepping and the corner movements. So we face the mirror like this, and we stroke down and do a Part the Horse's Mane. The first movement is cross corner. So there's your corner movement, the Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. Okay, now we have to sit back and we turn 135 degrees till we get our right foot forward. We stroke down and we do Part the Horse's Mane. And we sit back and we cross over to this corner. And we do the same Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. Now we sit back, we pivot the front foot 45 degrees, we face the clock and do a Part the Horse's Mane. Then we sit back, and we cross to the left, and we move up and do a Jade Lady Work, Shuttle to the corner. Then we turn again 135 degrees, stroke down, Part the Horse's Mane, cross over, Jade Lady Work, Shuttle, and then we spin back to the front. And it was where we started. So that drill is to take you through footwork, Part the Horse's Mane, Jade Lady Work, Shuttle, walking to your left side Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. So what you develop from that, accuracy of your turns, because your feet dictate direction of movement, the relationship of Part the Horse's Mane and Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. Okay, so that's the right side. Now, it might be too complicated, but it's, what ends up happening when you hit here is you step up. Then you do Part the Horse's Mane here, and you cross over to this corner, and you do the right side Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. You pivot, and you find the side mirror, stroke down, Part the Horse's Mane. Then you cross over, go to the corner, Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. Okay, then we sit back and turn, face the clock, stroke down, Part the Horse's Mane. Cross over, so the left leg crosses to the right corner, and we go to Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. We sit back and toe, turn, face the street, stroke down, Part the Horse's Mane, sit back, cross over, Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. Okay, sit back, turn, and we're back to the front, and this is where we started, right? We step up, and then that just ends. So that's doing a format to do both sides of your Jade Lady Work, Shuttle. One working the right side, then working the left side. So this is to help refine the direction of your movement, your stepping, and the relationship between the two postures, and to refine the timing between this, and this, and you're doing it, cycling it through. The corner movements where we're turning into the corners, we have this footwork in the form, but it's not obvious because you're not stringing it together. The only way you can improve your movement is by doing it over and over again, because over time your body will actually program it into your system like anything else you learn. And then the refinement of it comes from the discovery, because then you start to discover, well, this isn't happening, and time isn't there. The shape and all the movements, it gets formatted, and the accuracy of movement comes in directionally and accuracy of position, the geometry of position. So this position in carry tiger to the mountain is the same position you have stork flaps wings. It's the same position you have in Jade Lady Work Shuttle, but they're in combinations: palm position, the square, or the push. That's your final position. In the leg, this is your final position. So the accuracy of the position is what you have to, that's your target position. And everything starts from here. Right, so that's your neutral. So because Tai Chi's more than just posturing, it's transition. We have to learn the transition. And the transition is really controlling your center of mass, controlling the relationship between what is active and passive, and differentiating in the legs the solid and empty. Which leg has the weight, which leg steps, the direction of the ankle for the direction you're turning in. So if I turn 45 degrees, it's going to give me this. If I turn it too much, it gives me this. If I kick the heel out, it gives me this. So, while we first learn the form, it's a toe, it's a heel, it's a pivot, but you just going through the motions, copying. But if you understand the strategy of that footwork, then you'll know where your direction's going. So that's kind of it, in a nutshell. But, some of this is too much to learn in one session. But being exposed to how you can practice, if you remember it, then you do it. And we try to do some of those in the class, to review some of those drills. At Belmont, I do them a lot. At the senior center, because we have people there that are doing the Tai Chi, have been doing Tai Chi Paradigm for about, anywhere, from 1 to 10 years, but they don't learn any more form than that. So they're at a stage where they can actually get through the posturing, but not necessarily, understanding, because they do it once a week, and it's really recreation. And along with that, it is a health exercise, and it improves your balance. So, anyways, let's go through the long form. Ready? Preparation. Oh. Grasp the sparrow's tail, single whip. Second downward posture. Step up, 7-star. Retreat, ride the tiger. Palm strikes face. Turn, double lotus. Draw bow to shoot tiger, step up. Palm strikes face. Turn. Parry and punch. Step up. High pat the horse. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, deep breathing. So all that footwork that we do in the form, aside from mapping the direction, it's to control your center of mass. Because when you control your center of mass between your legs, that's what's going to develop agility of footwork. Because if you can't shift your weight and control your center of mass, you're going to be awkward and clumsy. That's how, that's what the classics would say. They're awkward and because of that control. Now, posturing, the first thing you should realize that in posture, and the only thing that we really know about posture is to stand straight up, right? If you didn't Tai Chi, you wouldn't really know what postures are. So postures are the different configurations that we have in the form, but the basic one is standing erect, straight, right? So, the concept, you should be feeling like you're being lifted from above, so it's like pushing up to the top of the head, through the top of the head. Then the tailbone, the coccyx area is immediately, Zhongjing is to be vertical. So the first fault is when you do the form, you have to stay in a vertical position. So what is that? It aligns your musculature so you're not tilted, you're not leaning. So you want to have the erect spine, and the chin should be tucked in slightly so that the nape of the neck is relaxed. So when you go into postures, you try not to tilt your head. A lot of people, when they do J-Lady workshop, they do that. That's just, that you're not being aware that the head shouldn't do that. And when you turn, your spine should be vertical. Your hands, your body should be always keeping the vertical line. Now, howling the chest and rounding the back is something else. This is just talking about what straightness is. We first have to under straightness before we can actually discover the roundness and the motion. So we have to at least get that vertical spine. And then the footwork, shifting a weight is called differentiating between solid and empty. So there's certain guidelines and principles. So the first one is that. Then hollowing the chest and rounding the back is part of posturing. When you're in single whip, you hollow the chest. Rounding the back is as if lifting from the upper back. But it's not lifting the shoulders. It's controlling, your skeletal structure to create hollowing. And then differentiating is the shifting of weight. Okay. The other thing is to control your breath in a sense that, you don't want to be inhaling, exhaling with every single movement. It should be natural. So you breathe when you should. Don't focus on that excessively. Although, we can focus on the breathing in the drills, in the fundamentals, because you're standing. Once you start to move, it gets a little bit more complicated. Now, sinking your breath to your lower abdomen is diaphragmatic breathing. So they call that the dantian. When you sink your breath, then your center of mass gets lowered. So that's a concept, but it's something that you should be aware of, but don't, focus on it excessively. But because that breathing method of withstanding, then your breath will begin to sink. So what is sinking? Sinking is releasing. Like if you have a weight and you drop it in water, it sinks because there's nothing holding it. So your body, the musculature, your skeletal structure, everything that you release will descend based on gravity acting on your body. So gravity should be something that we should be aware of so that we, don't fight gravity. And then using your mind intent or the will and not strength means that when you do the movements, there's a conscious intent in the motion, but not physically doing it. So when we lift, we don't want to tense anything beyond what's required to lift. That's something that happens over time when the mind and the body discover what it needs. Part of your proprioception, all the reflexes in your body will delete excessiveness. Excessiveness is erroneous tension in the body, and that's something you might not be aware of when you're doing movement, because the first thing that happens when you do movement is you get a little, concerned about, what you're memorizing, and then there's some tension because if you're focusing on this, you forgot about this. So that's why your body has to go through this whole process of learning it. The actions go into subconscious, and subconscious behavior, if it's correct, will be ingrained in you. Then you work the other side, or even if you're going like this, that's diagonal flying with a lot of out of line positions. So once you learn the position, then what ends up happening is that's formatted in your body. There's muscle memory, there's understanding, and once you've sort of defined that position, then you learn to relax in the position and find out what happens during the transition. The transitional side is the most difficult because that evolves, So the movement that you're creating is an image. So image allows someone that's watching to recognize what it is. So that would, not that you're showing everybody the movement and having them judge it, it's what the teachers would see and say that's either correct or not. So that's what happens, If you're familiar with sports, you watch an action. If I go like this, what does that look like? When you go like this, what does that look like? If you go like this, the same stroke, but what is it? One's like a football, one's a baseball, one's a tennis racket, but the motion is the same. Okay, Wu Bao. Hup. Yeah. Just lucky someone shows up.